Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about comparison. And I want to talk about this because we're living in a world where you can see everybody's life. You can meticulously point out every moment, every success. Most people don't post their failures. So you can see a lot of what's going on in people's lives. And it can be really easy for you to compare your life, your job, your money, your body, your relationship, your success to everyone else's. And as someone who has been on the internet for a very long time, and someone who was in that fitness world, I used to struggle a lot with comparison. So I want to share with you guys some tips and some things that I learned and how I really got myself out of that cycle of looking at everybody else and wanting to be like them, and looking at my own life and being sort of my own inspiration for what I wanted to be instead of what I saw on the internet. So first and foremost, things are not always as they seem. We don't know what is going on behind closed doors. And even more so now, people are they're posting clips and they're posting photos. Those are literal moments in time, max 10 minutes, right? On like TikTok or Instagram, 10 minutes of someone's 24-hour day chopped up, and we're seeing their highlight reels. So we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It may be great. It may be amazing. And I wish that for everyone. But I also know from experience that sometimes it is not. And so looking at someone else's body or looking at someone else's job or looking at someone else's vacations and going, oh, I wish I had that, is crazy. I know several people who would post their bodies on the internet and they're like lean, only to come out later and say like, yeah, I was battling an eating disorder, or I hated myself at that time. So we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Here's the second thing I learned. If I'm not happy with what I have now, I will never be happy. So, which sounds crazy because we're like, well, if I had more money, I'd be happy. If all of your bills are paid and you're not struggling, the likelihood that more money is going to make you happy is very slim. Comfortable, maybe, but comfortable and happy are not the same. So thinking that if I just, like, this is where TikTok has just absolutely conned us all, right? This whole influencer, buy every product. If you just had this, then this is the thing that you need. That comes from a place of lacking contentment and thinking that thing, if I just buy that, sweater or jacket or, that water bottle, then I'm going to feel something. And it's like, you're not. You're absolutely not. So understanding that more things or more of anything is not going to make you happy. Here's the third thing. A lot of the root of comparison is wanting to be desired, liked, appreciated, etc. Right? But you can be the ripest, most juicy peach in Georgia and somebody's still not going to like peaches. And so I used to say, when I was teaching, I used to say to my students, I was like, so you better make sure you like peaches. Because if you are an apple and you are a Granny Smith apple, you are green, okay, you are a little bit sour, a little bit sweet, you are not a Fuji apple. Stop comparing yourself to a Fuji apple. You make sure you like Granny Smith apples. And so I had to learn to like myself. I always say you don't have to love yourself. You have to like yourself. I don't think there's something wrong with me. Of course we all have things we need to work on, but you know what I mean? I'm not like picking myself apart because someone else is going to do that. I don't need to do that. Here's the fourth thing I learned. Comparison is a never-ending cycle. Again, when I was teaching, I used to say, I would tell the girls, when I was growing up, my body type was considered unattractive. But now, like, I have muscle in my legs, I have a slimmer upper body, and I have, toned arms. That's in now. 10 years ago, it was like super skinny, or 20 years ago, it was like being super skinny. So I would tell them it's a cycle. Like at some point, something's going to be in and something's not going to be in. So if you're constantly comparing yourself to what's in, you're never going to be happy because it's going to come in and out of cycles. And lastly, it's just simply not worth it. Like, because the amount of time you spend comparing yourself to other people, to other things, at the end of your life, you have to ask yourself, how much of my mind was spent worrying about how I look to other people or what I didn't have? How much of my time was spent doing that? That's a lot of time in your life when you could have been spending your life enjoying yourself. I used to say, and I still, I'm always like, I used to say it, I still say it, but, when you get older and you're on your deathbed, you're not going to think, oh my gosh, I wish I never ate that cake. Or I wish you're going to be thinking about how much time you spent with your family, how much enjoyment you had. And that's really what's important. It's not that. So if you find yourself in this comparison sort of trap, you might need to reevaluate some things. And I actually have a course called the Confidence in Christ course where I talk about how to actually have real confidence that doesn't involve comparing yourself to other people, and how to develop internal confidence that comes from your relationship with God and how you live your life versus what everybody else is doing. So I will leave that in the description box below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.